the lucky Isekai main characters who got killed by Truck-kun, and then thanked Truck-kun for killing them. Here are 10 Isekai romance anime where the girl is obsessed with the guy. Let's go. Number 10, Full Drive.
ヒロがなかなか出てこないから。
肌の質感、存在感。古いゲームのくせにグラフィックすごいな。
You know what they say, don't mess with the yandere. But this time our main character straight up goes and messes with the yandere and then runs faster than Usain Bolt to avoid being butchered. Not the best way to start someone's isekai life. Yes, that's right, as soon as he lands on the fantasy world, he straight up goes and kills his best friend. And then his sister turns out to be a yandere. So what does this guy do? He quits the game, goes to the store and asks for a refund. But this is when the storekeeper says, "Dear boy, that stuff comes with a non-refundable tag."
とにかくお金返して返せ。
いい？これはね、一言で言うなら、大人のフルダイブ RPG なの。
大人の。
But turns out the lady in the store also plays the game and she helps this guy to succeed in some places. In terms of romance, we've got a yandere, a big sister type of figure, plus a sadistic torturer. Not much to ask for, but at least the romance starts kicking in slowly. But don't go expecting a lot of lovey-dovey stuff. Number 9, high school prodigies have it easy even in another world.
別の世界からやってきた7人の勇者の話さ。
その話。
So in number 10, we had an idiot landing in a fantasy world, so how about a group of geniuses landing on a fantasy world? That's right, gentlemen. This time our characters are smart enough to understand that they are in an isekai anime and they could use their knowledge to their advantage. And the main character here is also the kind of guy who always has a plan in his head.
2つ目、これは当然元の世界に帰る方法を探すことだ。
手がかりは7人の勇者の話だよね。
This is also one of those anime which has a setting where both the fantasy world and our real world interact with each other instead of being separate on their own. Each of these characters also specialize in different areas, so it doesn't feel like it's the same character copied over and over again. Similar to Full Drive, the isekai elements triumphs the romance a lot, but if you're here for the isekai, then you get a nice fast-paced isekai anime. Number 8, The Fruit of Evolution. Before you know it, my life had it made.
これまでの人生で直面したことのない現実と対面していた。何が起きてんの
Now, this is one of those anime that got hate from the anime fandom because it had a ton of recycled tropes, plus a gorilla in its first episode. But I think the hate is unnecessary. Sure, you don't get anything groundbreaking in here, and no, the gorilla isn't some anime version of King Kong, but you get a show that is pretty fun to watch because of the adventure and characters. And we have Sarah. Who can hate Sarah?
私、聖一のことが好き。だからお嫁さんにしてください。
Remember Arifutura? Just like in that anime, a whole class gets transported into a magical fantasy world and this poor guy lands in a completely different area. There, he eats the ultimate fruit of evolution and evolves into a whole new character. And with great power comes a great amount of girls, so get ready for the waifus to join in shortly after this guy eats the fruit. Number 7, Seven Senses of Reunion.
何よ。これからもずっとみんなで一緒にいられたらいいね。
言われるまでもねえよ。
Once upon a time, in the real world, there's this girl called Ashi. She decides to play a virtual reality game along with her friends. Suddenly, Ashi dies. Yeah, both in the isekai world and the real world. See, kids, too much gaming can be bad. Anyways, after this girl dies, her friends abandon the game, and then when one of her friends logs back into the game a couple years later, he finds Ashi's avatar in the game.
あれ、ハルト？
No, this isn't a ghost story, stop crying. This is why this show has a bit of an original premise. The show starts off with a mystery, asking if dead people in isekai can be dead isekai ghosts. Really, can ghosts exist in isekai? But when the old friends come back, they need to solve their differences and find a way to solve the mystery. If you feel like this is a mixture of SAO and Enohana, then you're right, but you won't be crying really loud in this one. Number 6, By the Grace of the Gods.
何かあったらガラナゴの町に来て俺を頼りな。遠慮なんかすんじゃねえぞ。覚えたか？
わかった。
Ryoma Takebayashi is a lonely man who led a life filled with hardships until he died from an unfortunate accident and got reincarnated in a fantasy world as a child. Here, he makes use of his innate knowledge and abilities combined with the blessings he received from 3 goddesses to lead a new life and start a new adventure. And yeah, we get the girls too. And come on, that's what you wanted to hear, right?
セイルフォールに来てから僕とスライムたちだけだった世界は大きく広がろうとしていた。
This is also one of those anime where the main character is a genius. No, not a genius like Lelouch, but someone who can solve problems with his head instead of picking a sword and trying to kill that problem. In terms of romance, the moral of this show seems to be the more magic you have, the more girls you get. So it's like Harry Potter, but with Harry getting every girl in the school. Number 5, Spirit Chronicles.
読み書きはできるのかな？いえ、文字を学んだことがないので。なるほど。じゃあ個人指導してあげる。
Spirit Chronicles is one of those shows where the underdog shows he's way more overpowered than you think. We're thrown into a body-switching adventure filled with knights, royal academies, and all those rich, poor class conflicts. It's got some great world building, and the lack of character development is quickly covered up by the growing mystery the show presents to you from the first episode itself.
俺は騎士になるつもりはないですからね。
リオ。
はい。
背伸びたよね。
Now, there are several girls interested in our main character, including the girl who taught him magic. But the most obsessed girls come in later arcs when the guy just helps them and they're like, "Oh my god, you are the kindest person I've ever met. Let's start dating right now." There also seems to be a great magic system, but who cares? Our guy is pretty much skilled in everything. Number 4, Trapped in a Dating Sim.
正直に話すけどいい？結構きついよ。
I did a recap about this on my second channel. You can check that out if you want. Or, if you want the premise, then this is about a guy playing a dating sim. Decided to go touch some grass and then falling down the stairs and dying. Then he gets reborn in the dating sim. In this dating sim, the women are the rulers of the world. They attend a high school where only the smartest, most handsome warriors get to sit among these high-class ladies. But what does our protagonist have? Well, he has AI on his side, and this AI can pretty much do anything. The twist in this show is the mechas in an Isekai world, plus the main heroine of the game being replaced by a completely different girl.
俺は殿下やジルクと違う。かっこよく慰めてもギャグになるだけだよ。
もう一度だけアンジェと話してみます。
ああ。
Unlike other isekai anime, it takes some time for our guy to score the girls, but just like Spirit Chronicles, things aren't much harder because this guy has a robot on his side. Number 3, Banished from the Hero's Party.
二人でバーベキューをしたり、泳いだり。
二人で？
そう、二人で。どうだ？
もちろん行くわよ。のんびり遊びましょう。
Apparently, this guy gets banished from the hero's party and then decides to live a quiet life in the countryside. That's it. That's all to it. Or is it? Well, the best thing that happens to this anime is Rit, who, if you don't know who this girl is, who acts like the perfect sidekick for our hero while looking cool.
お腹すいたよ。
悪い悪い。ちょっとトラブってな。
何があったの
？One of the reasons this anime got popular is because our main character and Rit look like the perfect power couple. The romance also has some great chemistry in it. In terms of action, it doesn't deliver very much, but it's one of those anime where the couple starts dating early, so you don't have to wait long to see the romance. Number 2, how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom.
そろそろ町に着くわね。
いいか？この馬車を降りたら、俺たちは王様でもお姫様でもない。
It's time for some kingdom building, and this time our main character is lucky enough to land on an isekai world, get married the instant he lands there, and even own a whole kingdom. Yeah, as soon as this guy lands, the king's like, "Hey, even though I've never met you in my life, why don't you have my daughter in my kingdom?" Luckily, this guy is someone who has the knowledge to manage a kingdom.
どうなの、相馬？
案外いけるぞこれ。
This seems like a show based on a game like Civilization or Age of Empires, where you have to manage an empire on your own. So instead of stuff like sword fights and demon lords, this guy has to worry about political connections, the food production in the country, the national income, and how to start caring about his wife who looks a lot like Saber. Number 1, the world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat.
さあ帰ろうまあ
連れて行って王子様
Oh yeah, time for that guy from Assassin's Creed to get the girls and kill some targets. Oh wait, this time his target is the hero of the country. Now that's not going to be easy. When the world's greatest assassin finds himself betrayed and backstabbed by the very organization that he had sworn allegiance to, his frustration causes him to have an audience with a goddess that appreciated his exceptional skill. The goddess gives him another chance and our assassin gets a job: assassinate the hero of the world. Yeah, that's pretty much the premise of this show.
いろいろと説明してもらっていいかね。
死んだあなたの魂を招きました。ちなみに私は女神です。えへん。
But on the other hand, we've got a main character who isn't shy and clumsy. He got the skill, he got the brains, he got the charms, and he pretty much makes the most powerful mage in the world fall in love with him, so this guy has done more things than you've done in your life.